Inside the Louvre heist, 7 minutes that erased centuries of glory. It happened in daylight, yet it felt like an eclipse. In 7 merciless minutes, France was stripped of 9 priceless crown jewels, relics that had survived emperors, revolutions and exile, now vanished into the Paris air. The Louvre, guardian of centuries, stood violated, its marble silence broken, its glass cases shattered. What was stolen were not mere ornaments of gold and sapphire, but fragments of a nation's sole history, love and empire, erased in one audacious strike. It was one of the greatest jewel heists in history, a crime so staggering that even centuries will remember the day France's crown lost its light. And as the alarms faded, what remained was something colder than silence, a wound that even time may never heal. Because this time France didn't just lose its jewels, it lost its reflection. Orleans Sapphire Parure. It happened in daylight, 7 minutes that felt like a national wound. The Louvre, the guardian of France's soul, was breached. In a swift surgical strike, 4 thieves vanished with treasures that had survived revolutions, exiles and empires. Among them lay one of France's most historic jewels, the Orleans Sapphire Parure of Queen Marie-Amélie. Its diadem, necklace, and a single earring now lost to the shadows. "We failed," confessed France's Justice Minister Gérald Darmanin. "The French people all feel like they've been robbed." And indeed, they had. Not merely of gems, but of memory itself. But before we mourn its theft, we must remember the woman whose grace first gave these stones their meaning, Queen Marie-Amélie of the French. Born Maria Amalia of Naples and Sicily, the 10th of 18 children of King Ferdinand I, she endured exile and political chaos before marrying Prince Louis-Philippe d'Orléans, the man who would reluctantly become King of the French. When the crown was thrust upon them, she whispered, "Since by God's will this crown of thorns has been placed upon our heads, we must accept it." Her reign was one of humility, faith and quiet strength. Virtues mirrored in the serene blue of her sapphires. The Orléans Sapphire Parure, purchased in 1821 for 160,000 francs, was a masterpiece of early 19th century Parisian craftsmanship. Composed of brilliant Ceylon sapphires and over 1,000 diamonds, the diadem shimmered like a fragment of twilight, regal yet restrained. The sapphires, famed for their rare velvety hue, were set in gold and framed by meticulously cut diamonds that danced with fire under candlelight. Marie-Amélie wore the full parure, diadem, necklace and earrings, in portraits that sought to define a new kind of monarchy. Pious, familial, unpretentious. Even in exile, she carried the jewels with her to England, treating them not as symbols of lost power, but of personal devotion and family legacy. For over a century, the parure passed through the Orléans line, gracing weddings, portraits and royal galas. Its last great custodian, the Countess of Paris, wore it at the most glittering events of Europe's post-war society. Finally, in 1985, the family sold the parure to the Louvre, ensuring its safety, or so it was believed. Now, the diadem with its 24 sapphires and 1,083 diamonds, once kissed by candlelight at the Palais Royal, is gone. A symbol of France's royal elegance, lost in 7 minutes of audacity. As the French press mourned, one columnist wrote, "They did not just steal stones, they stole the reflection of our past." And in that reflection, Queen Marie-Amélies' quiet grace still lingers, now veiled in absence, shimmering in memory. Empress Eugénie's pearl tiara. Among the stolen treasures, Empress Eugénie's pearl tiara, the luminous diadem once gifted by Napoleon III to his radiant bride, Eugénie de Montijo, in 1853. This was not just a jewel, it was France's reflection. Crafted by Alexandre Gabriel Lemonnier, the tiara shimmered with 212 natural pearls and 1,998 diamonds, taken from the French crown jewels once worn by Marie-Louise and the Duchesse d'Angoulême. It rose like a garden of a light. 7 pearl stems, diamond foliage cartouches, and a band of roses that seemed to breathe with imperial grace. Eugénie wore it for Winterhalter's iconic portrait, her eyes soft yet sovereign, the pearls crowning a moment of unity between power and love. The tiara witnessed royal investitures, glittering Windsor banquets, and the fall of an empire. When Napoleon III went into exile in 1870, the tiara stayed behind, a silent relic of France's lost grandeur. It passed through the hands of princes and archduchesses, adorned weddings and jubilees, and later graced the head of Princess Gloria von Thurn und Taxis in a Valentino gown, pretending to be Marie Antoinette at her husband's infamous ball. Each wearer became part of its legend, and now it's gone. The French government has called the theft an offence to France, to our history and our art. President Macron's critics call it an unbearable humiliation for our country. Art detectives warn the world has only a week before the tiara is dismantled, its diamonds cut, its pearls scattered across black markets. They are attacking our heritage, our common patrimony, lamented one Louvre official. These jewels are witnesses to the grandeur of France. But if the thieves melt it down, what disappears is not just gold, it's memory. The ghost of an empire extinguished in 7 minutes. The question now lingers like perfume in the Louvre's empty gallery. Will Empress Eugénie's pearls ever find their way home again? Emerald and diamond parure of Empress Marie-Louise. Among the stolen jewels was the priceless emerald necklace, a shimmering masterpiece of over 1,000 diamonds and 32 flawless emeralds, once kissed by candlelight in the courts of Napoleon. In a heist as audacious as it was tragic, the thieves stormed the Apollo Gallery of the Louvre, where the French crown jewels rested beneath glass and centuries of reverence. Among the treasures lost was the emerald and diamond parure, Empress Marie-Louise, Napoleon's wedding gift to his young Austrian bride in 1810, a symbol of empire, devotion, and dynastic splendour. Crafted by François Regnault-Nito, the emperor's favoured jeweller, the set once included a tiara, comb, earrings, and an opulent necklace. Each emerald gleamed with the deep green of imperial ambition, framed by over 1,100 diamonds that flickered like captured starlight. The necklace, its centre emerald weighing nearly 14 carats, was a marvel of precision and poetry. Alternating oval and lozenge-shaped stones, bordered by palmettes of smaller emeralds, created a rhythmic dance of light across the wearer's collarbone. Marie-Louise wore it not as mere adornment, but as the embodiment of Napoleon's empire, France's might translated into jewels. After the fall of the empire, the parure passed through royal bloodlines to the Grand Dukes of Tuscany, surviving wars, revolutions, and exile. But time was unkind. The tiara was dismantled, its emeralds sold off one by one, a heartbreak of heritage scattered across continents. Its golden skeleton was later filled with turquoise by an American collector and now lies in the Smithsonian, a ghost of its former majesty. When the Louvre acquired the surviving necklace and earrings in 2004, it felt as if France had reclaimed a piece of its lost soul until now. With the theft, an entire chapter of Parisian artistry may have been erased again. Perhaps the jewels will resurface, glinting in some distant vault or private hand, but perhaps not. And if they are gone forever, then so too is a piece of Napoleon's love story, France's crown, and the silent brilliance of an empire that once believed beauty could defy time. Empress Eugénie's diamond bow brooch, one of the Louvre's most treasured relics, vanished, dismantled perhaps with chilling precision, each diamond unmounted, each tassel separated like a heart torn apart. In a single act, centuries of Parisian artistry, royal memory and national pride were stolen, possibly forever. Forged in silver and gold by François Kramer, the brooch once formed the centerpiece of a breathtaking diamond belt of over 4,000 stones. Later reshaped into a standalone bow, it shimmered with 2,438 diamonds and 196 rose-cut gems, each one catching the light like a whisper from another century. The bow's folded loops and cascading diamond tassels seemed to breathe as if alive, a symbol of opulence and the French crown's eternal flair for grace. Empress Eugénie herself wore it with majesty, first at the Palace of Versailles in 1855 for Queen Victoria's royal visit, then again for her son's baptism the following year. When the French crown jewels were auctioned in 1887, it passed through the hands of America's Gilded Age elite, British nobility, and collectors who adored its imperial past. By the 20th century, it had returned home, to the Louvre, where it belonged, glowing quietly behind glass, until now. Today, that glass stands empty. What remains is grief, the kind that lingers when beauty is violated. The diamond ball brooch wasn't just an ornament, it was a heartbeat of French heritage. To lose it is to lose a voice from the empire's most glittering chapter. And now one question echoes through Paris. Will this masterpiece ever be seen again, or has the light of Empress Eugénie's diamonds been extinguished forever? Empress Eugénie's diamond reliquary brooch. It shimmered once under candlelight, a cross between faith and imperial splendour. Empress Eugénie's diamond reliquary brooch, crafted in 1855 by Alfred Bapst, was no ordinary adornment. It was a devotion cast in gold and diamond, a sacred vessel for a relic, resting within a lattice of 94 diamonds, including the legendary 17th and 18th Mazarin stones, first gifted to King Louis XIV by Cardinal Mazarin in 1661. Two great diamonds mirrored each other at its heart, surrounded by delicate engravings of leaves, a secret garden of faith etched for an empress. Eugénie, wife of Napoleon III and one of the most fashionable women in Europe, wore it close to her heart, both as a statement of piety and as a whisper of power. When she left the Tuileries, the brooch became a relic of France's lost empire, later acquired by the Louvre in 1887 as part of the nation's soul preserved in stone. And yet one Sunday morning that soul was stolen 7 minutes. That's all it took. 4 thieves, armed with precision tools and a Montemeubles truck, the kind used to lift furniture in Paris, breached the museum's defences and vanished with 9 national treasures. The Louvre fell silent, humiliated. The French Republic has been robbed of its memory, one official declared, his voice trembling. The Ministry of Culture called it a wound to our heritage. Today, experts fear the brooch could be dismantled, its sacred relic discarded, its diamonds sold to the black market one by one. What was once a symbol of faith and empire might now be scattered across the world, glittering fragments of a history that may never come home again. Crown of Empress Eugénie. It shimmered like captured light, a crown born of empire, beauty, and heartbreak. The crown of Empress Eugénie, wife of Napoleon III, was no mere ornament. It was France itself, rendered in gold and fire. Crafted in 1855 by Alexandre Gabriel Lemonnier, it gleamed with 1,354 diamonds and 56 deep green emeralds, each set around golden eagles and palmette motifs that once symbolized imperial power. A single monde rose at its peak, a globe of sovereignty now long fallen. Eugénie de Montijo wore it not for a coronation but for glory. The 1855 Exposition Universelle in Paris, where France dazzled the world with its splendor. Yet history would not be kind. After the empire's fall, the crown followed her into exile in England, a reminder of love, loss, and a vanished throne. Decades later, restored to France and enshrined in the Louvre, it stood as a relic of an age when empires glittered and fell. Until that October night, when silence shattered. Thieves struck the museum, and in their panicked escape, the priceless crowns slipped from their grasp, crashing onto the Parisian pavement. Recovered, yes, but scarred. Its gold bent, its diamonds dulled by the fall, much like France's pride itself. A wound reopened, reminding the nation that even the brightest jewels of history can still bleed. Thanks for watching. But somewhere out there, behind a locked door under foreign light, France's jewels may still breathe. The question is, will they ever find their way home? Once again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more sparkling stories.